What up? What up? What up, good people? All right, today is Monday, January 17th, Martin Luther King's birthday. People off work. There's no mail being delivered, meaning I can't get any bills today, which makes it a better day overall. I don't look to having a day off because I like being at work, but it's not so bad not having bills delivered today, but I'll get a stack of them tomorrow. So, anyway, it's January 17th. It's a little bit before noon, Monday. Um, Getting this up again. Um, I think with this podcast today, I think I'm going to probably piss off a lot of parents. A lot of times they don't like to hear what I have to say concerning their babies and kids and all this other stuff. But it's issues that I noticed that have to be addressed. Uh, I don't personally try not to have the problem. I don't know. And that is, have you noticed that in this day and age, January 2022, the work ethic among our youth, among the next generation coming up, is they don't have any, pretty much. The criteria is, I mean, when we were younger, and you hate to say that because you show your age, but you kind of, you got off school, you look to go play some type of sport, softball, basketball, football. I have friends that are coaches in high schools. They can't even get enough people to come out for the tryouts for the team. Um, Sports are non-existent. The one thing, I was born and raised in the Inglewood area, or in Inglewood. And the one thing I noticed about a lot of people think the violence that you hear about in Inglewood now just started. It didn't. It's been there. And it's the same as a lot of other poor communities within inner cities of cities. Um, and the cause of it, if you ask me, from experience at firsthand, is no hopes and no dreams. And the reason that I say the generation before us is not going to like what I hear, just like what I have to say, is that kids learn by example. Okay, they don't follow what you say; they follow what you do. Nowadays, kids or young adults coming up, their dreams and goals are to either be a rapper or a drug dealer. You know, and I know when I was coming up, we were thought of as either being a lawyer or a doctor, which they kind of still push that. But I believe what should be pushing is what I try to do with my kids, and that's the happiness of doing what you enjoy in life, no matter what that may be. My only criteria for whatever you enjoy doing in life is to give it your best. And generally, when you love a job or when you love something that you do, you work very, very hard at it. And I can only assume uh, the work ethic declines because the dreams and the jobs that we are being told to take. You can go to college and study whatever you want to study. I mean, these guys are studying international business and they wind up working at freaking McDonald's um, because they can't find nothing else. And they're pushed into taking that. And so when you show up every day at a job that you don't like, you're not going to give 110%. You're going to do what the generation parents my age and up, 40s, 50s, 60s. It's what they did. They took a job because they had to provide for their family, or so they told themselves. This income I have to provide for my family, so I'm going to take a job I don't like, but it does pay me a paycheck, so I can provide for my family. And that's fine. I mean, I have no problem with that. I did that for a while. Um, when I discovered I love being an entrepreneur, I love owning my own business, which is far harder than most people really realize. Um, my kids, the kids that I raised, GA's kids, my son grew up with me. They have a different work ethic than their peers at their age, and it's because me and GA has always had a work ethic of, I mean, we work, we really put a lot of effort into what we're trying to do, and our kids pick up on that. So there's no slacking off, there's no half-assing, there's no, well, I don't like that job, I'm about to leave. There's none of that. You know what I mean? I remember my son he worked at a daycare for 2 years. So when he left to go down to college, um, you go down there, you're 18 years old, 19 years old, and he applies for a job at Steak and Shake, which he got. Um, they said, wow, it's very rare to see, a 17, 18-year-old that has kept a job for, 2.5 years. You must have really you must have really liked working at the daycare. The daycare belongs to one of my clients. And he said, no, actually, I hated it. After 3 months, I absolutely hated it. But I was taught by my dad, me, you do not quit a job until you have a different job. Other than that, you have a job. You know what I mean? So you don't quit unless you have another one and you're ready to start. You give a 2-week notice and you go on to your next job. The work ethic is, I mean, I have things, situations down where I'll set up an interview with a person. They won't even show up. They call me for a job. They won't even show up to the interview. That's how much disrespect people have. Even like now, you can't get people to work. Why? Because they don't want to work. They get more from unemployment. Um, so the concept of work ethic, dreams are totally different from generations ago. Whereas, like I said, we got out of school, we went and played sports. They get out of school, they sit on their ass in front of a computer and a game all day, and that's what they do. And that's fine too, if that's what you're into. I mean, when I was growing up, a lot of things that I did, I loved Prince, and my mother probably thought my choice of music was the most atrocious thing she ever heard, which it was at the time for her, not for me. But what I'm saying is that things change. I remember when my son told me he wanted to be a YouTuber, and I'm like, a YouTuber? Until I looked at how much money YouTubers actually make. They're in this generation. If they took their work ethic, I mean, you have people like the Kardashians, which people think are stupid as all get out, but they have $1 billion businesses that they built online. So it's a whole new era, but it still requires a good work ethic. People want to sit around, even the parents, and this is where the kids get it from. You want to sit around and act like success is a success fairy. You're going to sit on your ass at home. The success fairy is going to show up at your house and bestow all these great things upon you. It doesn't happen like that. Everyone thinks Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, something they were giving something special. No, they work their ass off to get where they're trying to get to. And there's millions of small business owners that just barely make their payroll and pay their rent that work their ass off. It's only 24 hours in a day. So this is the age that a lot of people think, well, I want to be an entrepreneur. Trust me, it ain't what you think it is. I know a lot. I go through a lot, and I don't tell people what to do. I don't even tell my own son what to do. Choose any life that you think is the life for you. Um, but my rules are of anything, if you choose a direction that you want to go, you must give it 110%. Okay? We have parents that look at kids now and go, oh, well, these kids don't want nothing and this and that. They get it from you. Okay? We're talking about they're on the PS5 all day. Well, guess who the hell bought the damn PS5 in the first place? You did. So we have parents passing down bad examples and then want to complain and criticize that my child don't want nothing. Well, you raise your child that way, because you thought get him a good education, which he may not even wanted to go to school. He might want to go to the service. You know what I mean? But you had his life all planned out, which was a damn mistake in his or her, which was a damn mistake in the first place. Let them decide their life, because they got to live a life. I tell my son all the time, the life that he chose to live, that's his. I'm straight. I love my job. I love what I do for a living. No one has to live my life for me except me. No one has to live his life for him except him. No one has to live your life for you except you. So stop trying to take all the things that you didn't do, and I know this is what's best for my child. My mother used to tell me all the time what was best for me. I didn't listen to her. You didn't listen to your mother, and they're not gonna listen to you. Your kids are not gonna listen to you. You know what I mean? It's got to be. Sometimes they don't know what's best for their life, but you have to give them the room to try. You can't direct their life. Okay, you're gonna go to school. You're gonna get out. You're gonna get this kind of job. And you can't do that because it never turns out right, because it's you trying to live your past mistakes through them. They'll figure it out. You didn't figure it out for a long time. You probably the guy or the lady that you married to, your parents probably told you don't even marry them goddamn people. But did you listen? No. And your kids are not going to listen to you. So the best thing to do is stop trying to direct them into living the life that you think is good for them. It ain't your goddamn life. I see these people now, my nieces and whatever. You want to make your kids your best friends. That's the wrong thing to do, because as they get older, they're gonna want their own friends. They're gonna want to hang out with people their age, not their mama, not their daddy. They're gonna want to hang out with their peers. So you wind up getting disappointed, and then what you do, you've built this up, especially with young ladies around 15, 16. They don't want nothing to do with you no more. Don't drop me off. Don't do nothing. Just, give me some money. Let me get on out of here. As they get older, you try to hold on, and you try to hold on too tight, and you wind up pushing them in the other direction. And that is making, but then you keep them so cooped up. The first taste of freedom, they run buck wild. You know what I mean? Well, try being a parent instead of being a friend. You cannot, and understand this, you cannot be your child's friend. You can't, be their parent. That's what that's what you gave them birth to do, is to be their parent, not their friend. I can be friendly towards my son, but I ain't your buddy. You can't talk to me like you talk to your friends. You can't do all that shit with me like you do with your friend. I'm still your father, okay? And that's just at the bottom line. So the parents in this situation, with these kids, I hate to call them kids, but with these up and coming younger generation, we're passing them down all the wrong examples. We don't dream, so they don't dream. We don't work hard because we hate our job. They don't work hard because they hate their job. We want to design their life for them. They don't want you to design their life for them. All these things, and this is the reason that I said it's not going to go over too well with parents, because you have to understand that everything that they are and everything that they are not is your fault. You put that in them. If they're lazy, it's because you put that in them. A child comes into this world knowing nothing. Everything they learn while they're here, they learn from us. Okay, so if it's something you don't like, if you look at your child and it's something you don't like, guess who's the fucking blame for that? You. But we don't want to take responsibility for that. We want to say, oh, they just, that's just how he is. No, that's how you raised them. If we want better, we have to do better. Start letting your kids know they can work a job and dream, and if their dream is to open up a business or be a YouTuber, like my son told me, whatever it may be, support them in that. Don't try to tell them what they gotta do with their lives. It never works out. It never works. So that was one of the things I noticed, not only with society today, but with my own kids. They do exactly what you do. If you work hard, they work hard. If you're happy, they're happy. If you drink all fucking time, they're gonna drink all the time. You have to be, kids follow what you do, not what you say. Start setting a better example, and you'll start having better kids. So that's what it is. Until next time, I'm gonna get this up. Next week. And until that time, this is your man, Sir-Earl. I'm checking out. Peace.